Day 11 of the carnivore diet. Steak and eggs, really? How is anyone supposed to live like this? Started to notice that my brain is working faster. Not as tired. Feel like I'm starting to sleep better. Just really paying attention to what I put inside. Feel it. Oh, there it is. A few cravings here and there. Headache for a few days. Maybe I was dumping something. Feeling strong. Shirts are getting a little looser. This morning I was a little discouraged. I'm just gonna take that discouragement and just like, I'm gonna throw it out. And just keep going. Day 74, down 23 pounds. I can feel my energy level going up. Day 81, I'm a little hungry. Am I hungry or do I just want to eat? Get out and lift weights. Oh, I'm slimmed down. Change the way I'm thinking and the way I'm eating. 9 days left, but I don't think I can quit. Staying off the carbs and the sugars has just worked great for me. You gotta make sure you don't get hungry. Recommend it to anyone that thinks it might help them. Down 27 pounds, 90 days. Crushed it. Killed me out. Day 11. That's quite an intro there.
Classy.
Classy. So weird. All right, well, let's welcome Nelly from Nelly Wants Meat. My brain
Does it say wants meat? No, it should say needs meat.
needs
Did
meat.
I type that wrong?
No, I didn't put it up. I was like, as soon as I'm saying this wrong, so let me click this thing. We were just talking about how I'm such a professional, and
It's amazing. We're all amazed by it.
make it up as we go. Okay,
That's right.
so how do you invite a carnivore to a party?
You offer meat?
Yeah, you just say it's a barbecue. Meet us
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's
You just wait.
that's one of many horrible jokes that you guys could be expecting tonight. Yeah, so we got Nelly from Nelly Needs Meat. Check out her YouTube channel. I'll say that again and plug it later. You do a
That's
lot
awesome.
of cooking videos.
I do. I
I'm
have
sure-
a very long list too of recipes that are coming at some point.
That's awesome. And I literally have been doing 0 cooking videos for a long time.
You
I'm
need
like,
to work on that.
I know. That's one of the hardest things for me because I have so
Mhm.
many people in my house.
True.
And I'm like trying to cook meals around other people that are cooking meals. And
Yeah.
it becomes very I don't want to say high stress. It's just there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I struggle trying to film in the house because as soon as people are up, people are in and out of the kitchen.
Mm.
And my kids especially love to come in and video bomb whatever I'm doing. So it's, it is what it is. I just leave their comments in because it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't mind my kids being in it. It's just like sometimes that one extra thing seems like too much for me. And
Yeah.
then I get in that mindset and not the routine of it but I'm gonna have to change it because I'm planning on doing like a whole 31-day lion diet
Oh, you're doing
challenge
that again? Oh, cool.
and try to film every day. So
Mm.
and upload every day. Maybe I'll fail this year, but last year I made it all the way through the whole thing, and which it's like it seemed like forever. But I'm just gonna try to challenge myself again.
You could try to do it in chunks instead of doing like film, post. You could do like a few days in a row and then
Yeah,
post that so it's not so burdensome because that
yeah,
is a lot trying to film and post every single day.
yeah. Obviously, that's like the editing goes way down, and then
Yeah.
just try the. Last year, I was trying to build some momentum.
Hmm.
Is what I
Yeah.
was like, just try to get some momentum in there, and yeah. So it's been fun. We got a few people on here. I know it's around the holidays, so we actually did Christmas in my house today because
Oh,
tomorrow we have church, and I didn't want
oh
to like
yeah.
the church, and then
Hmm.
Monday we're doing it at my wife's parents' house.
Okay.
So yeah.
Are you
So
guys
anyone,
taking food to your parents?
um, I don't know what they're bringing. I know that she's making turkey and ham.
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I guess I can eat some turkey, maybe.
I'm making Swedish meatballs to
Okay.
take to Nick's family's house. A couple years ago, I did paprika chicken in the crock pot, but this year I'm
Mhm.
doing Swedish meatballs because those were just really, really good.
Mm. So what makes them Swedish?
the spices. It has like cinnamon in it, which
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought that cinnamon would go well, and it's like a little bit of nutmeg. The
Mhm.
original recipe called for allspice, but I don't do allspice. It's too much. But yeah, and then the gravy is like just super simple. It was like sour cream, beef broth, and heavy cream. I think I added some butter in there too. The
Mhm.
recipe's up on my site in case anyone's interested.
You do a lot of that a lot of that stuff, so
I'm
I'm super impressed. Um,
an artist.
yeah, I feel like I have a hard time being creative lately, so,
Mm.
yeah. Um, so what are some of the most I actually had this over talk about being creative in the kitchen. What are some of the most creative and delicious carnivore-friendly dishes that you think you've came up with? And do you have any, like, recipes off the top of mind?
Um, the beef curry fingers I thought were weird and fun, and it's like my husband was looking at the picture of them, and he's like, "No one's going to want to make them because they look horrible." I know, but they tasted so good. Let's see. I made this. I was trying to make a Japanese beef curry.
Mhm.
You can buy the curry packets, the Japanese curry packets,
Oh,
but
is it
they have.
like a green curry flavor or
I was going for like the golden curry,
okay.
but they have so many bad ingredients in it, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
can't bring myself to make this anymore. So I wanted to see if I could make it from scratch. And I really wanted beef instead of chicken. So I did. I made it from scratch. It was so fiery, it just about melted my face off. So instead, what I did was I had it in the freezer, just waiting for a chance to use it again. So last night I took it out. I mixed in some ricotta cheese, spread it on a pan, put mozzarella cheese on top, and baked it. Oh my word, it was amazing. And I'm like, I think cheese makes everything better. So I thought that was fun and interesting. So yeah,
Yeah.
that recipe is gonna drop, I think, this coming week.
This you see this comment? He's roasting a horse as we speak.
What?
So, I know that they eat a lot of horse over in France.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have not eaten any horse. Yeah.
Did you see I actually have the, comments up this time, so I can read them as we go.
Okay.
But did you see that, Charger Mopar said, "Try some heart attack chicken."
Yeah, he just talks about his heart attack chicken over and over again.
What do you put in it, Charger?
Yeah, here we go. I should actually have this memorized, but I don't.
Someone oh my word, that's my daughter. My daughter Nadia's in the chat.
Oh, awesome.
She says that that's her horse, leave him alone.
Hello,
Hi,
daughter.
Nadia. That's my oldest.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
what?
he says, I will season the horse with the finest whale spices.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if he's being funny or not because I'm old and I don't get jokes anymore.
I know. I'm wondering if that's one of my other kids.
There we go.
It
There's the
might
start.
be.
Chicken deep fried in beef tallow or lard is heart attack chicken. Yeah, it sounds tracks to me.
That sounds good.
Mhm. I've been using a lot of beef tallow lately.
Yeah.
I have because I've cut out all dairy from my
Okay.
diet, so no
Mhm.
cheese. Well, I have been because it inflames me. Yes, I should whine about it. Um, but I did have some Greek yogurt the other day, and
Okay.
it gave me inflammation.
Aw, that's
Yeah,
sad.
I was like, I'm gonna
That
give
was
it.
one of my kids. That's
Okay.
so funny. Um, yeah, I made meatballs the other day, and because I'm using brisket, so much tallow gets released in the pan. So I've been saving all of that's in the bottom of the pan for the meatballs.
Awesome. So you're telling me the one talked about eating the horse is one of your kids?
Yeah, there's two of them in there now.
Oh, that's okay.
So
That's funny.
yeah, I think Toto Chad is my youngest, and then Chocolate Dragons is my oldest.
That's
So
hilarious.
thank you for supporting your mother.
Yeah, I am getting new. I'm learning teenagers.
Hang on, hang on, hang on. Come here. Come say hi. You gotta scoot over this way.
Is this the one that
This,
eats the horse?
yeah, she's the one that would eat the horse. She's the
They
one that is she's doing low carb
okay,
for her health. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't do low carb
That,
for fun. I do it for my health.
yeah.
I wanted to come and troll you on the chat, but you're using my computer.
Yeah, I'm using her computer.
That, that's funny. Well, yeah,
Depends.
I feel like I got trolled there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Nice to see her up and moving a little bit.
Mm. Yeah,
Been a rough couple days.
Beth has kept me in the loop,
Yeah.
through some of the health challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm just thankful she's had a good attitude the whole time. And I'm thankful she wanted to even try keto. I'm kind of encouraging her to move more into carnivore. But
Mhm.
the issue is she only really likes chicken and
Okay.
she likes cheeseburgers.
Mm.
So, and I have tried to make cheeseburgers for her, and she doesn't really like the kind that I make. She wants them specifically like from Burger King. So I'm like, why don't you pray and ask God to change your taste buds?
Well,
Because, that would help.
yeah, that's one of those things that for me, it's like I got to eat whatever I want till I was 43. So,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
close. I was 44 when I started.
I was like, yeah, it'd be really tough. That reminds me, today was one of those days that, like I've done pretty good on the diet, and not had like tons of like issues with feeling upset that other people get to eat foods and I don't. My wife really struggles with that sometimes. It's like you can just see her
It's
face like
hard.
change. She's like, it's just
Yep.
like,
Yep.
but today was one of those days. I went out and I got I got my wife some food and my daughter some food, and then the rest of the kids some other food because I was like, we're not going to cook. Let's go just splurge. It's Christmas time. I'll get you guys something. I went and I picked up food for all of them, and I got
Mm.
absolutely nothing for myself. And I didn't realize it until I was driving back, and I called Beth. And I was like, I'm sad. I don't know. All of a sudden, I felt super sad that there was nothing out there for me to pick up that felt special to eat.
Mm. Yeah.
And then I thought,
That's
I don't know, it was weird. I haven't had that feeling in quite a while.
I still get that. I mean, when I used to go grocery shopping, that was one of the issues. It's like anytime I'd go grocery shopping, I would want to get a treat. Basically, anytime I left the house, I
Okay.
kind of wanted to have anything.
Yeah.
And now it's funny because, like,
Oh
when we're
no.
grocery shopping, I'm like, well, let me see if I can get something fun and interesting. I'm like, well, what am I going to get? Steak? That's about as good as it's going to get. Which I mean, I love steak, but it's like
Yeah.
that's about as special as it's going to get.
So woe is me came home and I had part of a rib roast that was like
Ah,
this thick, and I
mhm.
put in the oven and I ate it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And I was like, this is really good. What did I have to cry about?
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
But I know that
Oh, it
a lot of people struggle with that stuff. I was reminded because I was struggling there's a lot of people I hear in comments all the time
yeah.
that really struggle with feeling like they're missing out or it's not fair or it's
Mhm.
their load, you know, they're holding like a disproportionate amount of weight that other
Right.
people don't have when it comes to discipline and stuff like that other people don't have to carry. And
Mhm.
yeah.
It does feel like it's unfair, and I mean, my 2 younger daughters, they have never had a weight problem. They could eat whatever they wanted, and they weren't gaining any weight, and it used to be frustrating for me to watch them eat these things, and here I was, like, calorie counting, it's like the penny pinching kinda thing. It's like everything is, like, so controlled, and I wasn't happy, and I was hungry all the time, which made things worse.
Mhm.
But then watching them have a bowl of ice cream and not even think about it, I'm like, that made me so sad.
Mhm.
I'm thankful that's not a thing anymore, though. It's like, literally I could, like, we don't keep ice cream in the house anymore, but I was over at my sister-in-law's house and my nephew got a big bowl of ice cream and I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's like dyed food dye and stuff like that. And I'm looking, I was like, that's not even real food. So it didn't even bother me.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said that in a lot of my videos, but I look at stuff and I was like, yesterday, like for instance, I was like, do you know what? Some country sausage sounds good. You know, just a little bit of country. I picked up the thing, I threw a thing in my cart, and then I was like, hold on, let me look at the ingredients. So I read the ingredients saying, never mind. I put it
Yeah.
back. And I was like,
I've been so disappointed. I can't find sausage that doesn't have either sugar or other garbage in it.
yeah,
I'm just
you'll have to make it yourself if you want it.
yeah, yeah,
And that's a whole ordeal. But I was like, I looked at it and it said cane sugar, and I'm like, I know it's nominal. I know some people can handle it, and
yeah.
I would probably be just fine at this point. But there was something in me. I was like, nope, just putting it back.
It's the rebellious because it just makes me mad now. It's like you didn't have to do that. It would have tasted fine without the sugar. So yeah,
Yeah, that's true. It's like they have to put sugar in it now because that's what people's palates are looking for.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but making it yourself, I mean, it can't be that difficult, you know.
Now I had a barbecue recipe, North Carolina pulled pork barbecue, and it calls for, I mean, for the whole crock pot, it calls for like 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And in the past, I was adding it, and I haven't made it in a while, but I'm like, I'm curious to see, well, won't it just be, that's 2 tablespoons. Won't it be fine without it? I'm pretty sure it would be. I'm pretty sure I probably wouldn't even notice, you
Mhm.
know? So I do want to make it again and see if I can make it without the sugar and see how it tastes.
And so one of the things that I've experimented a little bit is like I had on a video, I had like some little bit of onions,
Mm.
and some mushrooms and some green peppers, and it was all stuff that my
Oh, yeah,
wife.
I saw that video.
Well, and I was like, yeah, it gave me gas, but but the onions tasted so sweet to me. Part of me is
Yeah,
like, almost with my palate being changed, if I was going to add some onions to like the sausage, it would probably
yeah,
add just as much sweetness as as sugar would,
yeah.
you know.
I
And then
think so.
yeah, so
I was at a party and a friend had made a charcuterie board and she had like blueberries and raspberries and stuff on it. And I mean, if I'm at a party, I'll have them. I don't think it's a big deal. But I never liked blueberries or raspberries. I always thought that they were way too tart. And I'm sitting there eating them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, these are fabulous. They taste sweet now to me. So I'm like,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah. There's a lot to be said about resetting your palate,
Yeah.
and then the thing is that you thought were tart are now sweet because there's
Mhm.
actually sweetness because you can taste it because you're not used to how sweet stuff is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't remember last time I've had something super sweet, but I guarantee if I tried something super sweet, like let's say my favorite thing ever, carrot cake with cream cheese frosting that I haven't had in years,
Mhm.
almost 2 years. It was too sweet before, you know.
Yeah.
I remember it's like
Yeah.
too sweet. I got to make sure I had the right portion of the of the of
The
the
cake to the frosting.
yeah, just right. But right now
Yeah.
it would make me sick immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my daughter's making a chocolate cake for the party on Monday, and she's like trying this new frosting recipe, and she wanted me to taste it. She's like, just a little taste. I'm like, I'm not going there at all. I wish I could do it and know that nothing would happen, but it's like I can't now. It's like I know number one, it would be too sweet, but the last time I had sugar, I literally felt like I had a sinus infection for several days. So it's like I don't want to even try it. So
yeah. So I had some questions I thought in advance. Um, so you're a Christian. I know that you talk to my wife all the time. We talked about it a
mhm.
little bit earlier. You and my wife, you keep her accountable, keep her on the straight and narrow, and she's been doing a good job. She's been struggling through stuff. She lost a bunch of weight on accident. Um,
Yeah, I thought that was great.
because she accidentally lost the weight. People were like, "Oh, you lost weight." Now she's like struggling through like, well, why didn't, what did she say? She said something yesterday. It was like, oh, you look good. It was like, well, I didn't look good before. And it was like, oh, you start, now she's having some of those like body dysmorphia things. Like she's done the work and now she is where she is. And,
Yeah.
and she's seeing how it might not, if she let it become negative in her life, it would be something that could make her like want to only try to lose weight because that's
Right.
the only way you get noticed or,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
it's like you start, because I feel like I went through. I was like, I feel like I'm still fat, but I was like, my mind was playing tricks on me. It's because I had reached a goal and then was staying the same for a while, and then I was missing like the weight going down and the changes and people saying, oh, you lost some weight, and it becomes a mental thing.
It does. Yeah. Hang on. I just want to say hi to my friend Ashley. I see that she's in the chat. And thank you, Carnivore Transformer, for subscribing to me. I appreciate that. Hi,
Awesome.
Ashley. Um, so yeah, I still struggle. And I mean, I've been the weight that I am right now. I've been this for over a year now. It's been almost a year and a half since
Mm,
I've hit like maintenance weight. And I still like will be out and I'll catch a glimpse of myself in like a window or something. And I do a double take because I can't connect that. I can't, it's like, wow, I'm so much smaller, but I can't see that. Even in pictures, I'm still so surprised. And in general, like I don't really feel the dysmorphia anymore. Like I said, I'm still surprised when I see it, but the only time I really think about it is when I'm playing table tennis, which sounds stupid, but that's just how it is. Um, because I'm in close proximity with other people and I feel like I'm on display and I'm used to being embarrassed and self-conscious,
mm,
knowing that other people were watching me because I was so heavy. And now it's like they're watching the game, so what? It's not like they're watching me. They're watching the game. So let the rest go and stop thinking that, stop being self-conscious thinking you're just too heavy.
mm.
So,
So
yeah,
how much
it's
for people that are listening? Not to interrupt, but like
yeah.
how much weight have you lost on this journey?
So on this journey, I lost 40 pounds. So
Okay.
it's not a whole lot from this, but it's like I had lost 50 pounds on Weight Watchers and then struggled for like 6 years to try to keep it off. And then I lost 40 pounds eating this way, but I wasn't trying to lose weight. Like your wife, I
Mhm.
was chasing health. I was chasing feeling good. And then that's how I ended up losing the weight.
Yeah. I just was like, you're talking about, you're seeing yourself differently, but that's one of
Yeah.
those. I was so surprised. You know,
Mhm.
I got a tracksuit for Christmas, so I'm pretty cool now. I'm gonna be wearing that thing around. I bet people are gonna be watching me.
It's going to be great. Well, I wanted to get a onesie and I'm like, I'm finally small enough that I could wear a onesie and not like feel self-conscious in it, but I don't know where I'd wear it, just around the house.
Yeah, that's funny. um, yeah, well, I was gonna get to a question and then we went some other way, but when I was talking about like you talking with my wife, how do you integrate your beliefs like as a Christian
Oh,
into like your wellness routines and diet and fitness and stuff like that?
so yeah, my whole journey with this started with chasing God about it because it was 2018, God kind of brought it to my attention that it's like I had no self-control. We kept buying these bags of chocolate and I couldn't just have one. I would have to have 5. So I realized that I was having a problem and then it just dawned on me. It's like, why don't you ask God for help? So in 2018 I did. I started praying, I started reading my Bible, like specifically looking for an answer, like, Lord, what's wrong with me? And here I thought, I'm like, what's wrong with me that I can't be like the normal people who can control themselves?
Mm,
And apparently, I'm not alone there. There's a lot of people out there who can't
yeah.
control themselves. So it took a year of prayer and reading God's word and learning the lessons over that year before I finally got to the point where it's like, I don't know everything that I thought I should know about health and nutrition. Apparently, there's something that I've been missing this whole time. And he showed me what it was, which is how insulin affects the body, how insulin is that stopper keeping you from losing weight.
Mm.
So, doing all the research and everything like that, I know it was God who put the information in my hands. And then even from there, it's like, that's not the end. It's like, that was just the start of it, because there were so many more lessons I had to learn about, there was still an issue of self-control. So I started keto, and I'm like, I would do like these drive-bys. There's like an open container of nuts here. I'm going to have a handful of nuts. And so the control thing was still hard, even though it's like, well, now I have this wide range of food I can still eat, but does that mean it's good for me? And I found that often, like, I mean, I have such a sensitive stomach. I've had it since I was a teenager. I don't know what the cause is. I know that it's definitely, if I cut certain foods out, I feel good. Nuts was one of the first things that had to go, because I was fine. As the food gets more narrow, you can see the things that are affecting you more easily. And I started noticing that whenever I had nuts, I did not feel well. And you can't just eat one handful of nuts. You're going to have a lot. So it was God showing me something, and then me resisting it and saying, well, I don't want to give that up yet. I'm not ready yet. And then he would keep showing it to me. And then finally I would get to the point where it's like, you know what, this food's not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. I don't need this anymore. And that's got me to the point where I'm at now, which is I'm doing meat, I'm doing dairy, nuts are out. Most vegetables are out. I did try peppers. Actually, Ashley and I went out to lunch, and I felt awful from having peppers in my shrimp Alfredo. I know it wasn't the shrimp Alfredo. I've had that before and I was fine. So it was definitely the peppers that I had in it. So peppers are out. But I have had some tomatoes, and those are fine. I still have the spices and stuff, and that seems okay. So I keep praying. It's like, Lord, show me if there's something else I need to drop, and then give me the strength to drop it. So it took me 3.5 years before I was ready to completely get sugar out of my life, because I had that mentality that, well, I could still have it every once in a while. I could still have it. But I was looking back. I keep a journal, and I have a journal post where I was saying how sick I felt and how I'd gained 3 pounds in 3 days from carbs. Some were sweet, some were not. But I had a prayer that day. It's like, Lord, am I supposed to give up sugar 100%? Am I supposed to give up treats 100%? And I was so sad thinking about it. I wanted to cry. And I'm like, well, Lord, if that's where I'm supposed to get to, help me to get there and not be sad. Help me to cheerfully obey. So it took a further 7 months after that before I was finally ready to give up the sugar. And it was freedom after that. I felt so much better after that. That burden is gone. It was like noise in the back of my head of, when can I have it again? When will it be okay? And then now it's just gone. So yeah, I'm still a work in progress, still trying to listen, still praying. What do I need to do?
Yeah. The other day I was on a video, I said something and it kind of struck me because I just said it, but it was like I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, God gave me taste buds that can taste sweetness, but you're telling me that I should never taste anything sweet in my life.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that doesn't correlate. So what is out of order? To me, it's like, well, then there's something out of order in my life, potentially. Like, if I have the ability to taste sweet, but I'm not ever supposed to taste it, that would seem like a cruel creature, right? So,
Yep.
well, one, there's levels of sweetness.
Yep.
I've ate a lot of sweet stuff in my life. I
Yep.
mean, I used to steal candy from the store when I was a kid and eat it in the woods. I went to town on that stuff. Not only was I eating it, what I shouldn't, I stole it too. So there's more to it. But when I say that, what comes to your mind? You got any wisdom in that?
Yeah. So I think that God did give us the sweet taste buds because we were supposed to enjoy things without overdoing it.
Okay.
Because there's other things in our life that we definitely enjoy, but we could overdo them. So I mean, something like, say, Facebook, right? So it's like you get the endorphin hit when you're on Facebook a little bit, but it's like if you stay on there, you could literally become addicted to being on social media. I happen to know because I
Like
was.
MySpace. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So any of those things, you could become addicted to being on them, and it doesn't mean that it has to be bad. It's like you just have to keep it in its place. So to me, it's like for you and I, we kind of ruined our bodies because we overdid the sweets. We took advantage of what God gave us that should have been a blessing, and then we kind of ruined it. And it's like, I don't think that we'll never be able to have stuff again. It's like, I think you're probably at the stage where you might be able to handle some berries or something like that, and not have it impact you too bad. But there's other people who are further along who, because they did so much damage, they're never going to be able to have it again. I think my mom's one of those people because she can't even have something like blackberries. It just shoots her sugar right up.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't like saying that. I think you're right, but I don't like saying that out loud because then I
Yeah.
feel like the people are just like, well, you just need to have self-discipline. You got to have balance and you need to have moderation. It's like, I know you're right, but I don't want to agree with it.
That's one of the things that bugs me is the people that are like, you just have to have moderation. And it's like, I was trying to have moderation, but you wouldn't tell that to an alcoholic. You wouldn't tell an alcoholic, you just need to moderate how much you drink. You wouldn't tell that to a cigarette smoker either. Just moderate how many cigarettes you have in a day. It's like, no, it's an addiction. And I wouldn't say, now granted, there's two different camps there where it's like some people are like, you can't call it an addiction. It's not an addiction. There's worse addictions out there, which there absolutely are. But then there's the other camp who have been addicted to drugs and alcohol. It's like the one guy that you had that you were posting his journey, and he was saying that he had done both drugs and alcohol, and quitting carbs was harder.
Yeah.
So, there's something to it that maybe it's not an addiction for everyone, but it is for some.
Yeah, it's not the same for everybody.
No. Mm-mm.
So my wife
And
has never wrestled with drug or alcohol addiction like I have.
right.
But now she's realizing that she has struggled with carbohydrate addiction.
Yep. So here's something kind of funny. Me and your wife have talked about this before, where if it's making you mad that you can't have it, or if it's making you sad that you can't have it, maybe you shouldn't have it. And I mean, this was how we had raised our kids, was that if they were throwing a fit, whatever they were throwing a fit about, they didn't get to have. We took it away.
Okay.
And I thought, if we were trying to be good parents that way, I think God is the same way with us. So it's like that little fit inside me that I was throwing, that the thought that I couldn't have sugar anymore, like God's like, okay, you're going to regret it. And I did, like, throughout the 7 months, whenever I had sugar, it wasn't just once or twice. It's like several times I had that feeling like I had a sinus infection. I just kept blowing it off and thinking, surely it's got to be something else.
Don't call
Can't
me
be the sugar.
That's yeah. And I know that is true because that has worked in my life. It's like there's a song, it says sometimes you need to let go to be able to hold on.
Ah, yeah. Yep.
And it's like, what does that mean? It's like, well, you're holding on to something, so you need to let go to hold on to him. And then you might get some of the freedoms back. But it's the same thing that me and my wife are teaching our kids right now. When they have behavior that they do that we don't like, we have to address that. But we also have to address the attitude behind it.
Yes. Yep.
Both of them, and usually that's what gets neglected. We try to change
it's
behavior,
like
but we don't change the attitude.
Yeah. It's like cutting off the behavior is not enough. You have to figure out the why behind it. Like what is driving that?
Yeah. There's a couple things here. God showed me the way back in 1996. Oh, the year I graduated high school. It took me until 2008 to obey with any kind of discipline, self-control. This is one of the fruit of the spirit. Yes. It seems like it develops when the flesh is put in its place. 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
And this next one, it says, I listened to an addiction specialist confirm that highly processed foods are addictive and that the people in drug and alcohol programs struggle to get off carbs and agree it's harder.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they make the food to be addictive on purpose. You know,
Yeah.
I used to have a thing of MSG in my kitchen that I used to put on food. I used to have like some umami powder and all these different
Yeah.
things, you know, to put on food. And now I'm like, I'm okay with just salt. Most of the time, I have no problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one of the things I found too is salt is very satisfying. Thank you for sending me the thing of smoked salt. Um, it's
That's
so good. Oh my goodness, I put it on everything.
so. What's the name of that? Maldarin or Maldarin?
Malden, I think. I can't
Malden.
remember.
Their smoked salt, like, and those giant crystals
Yeah,
are like
it's like candy.
it's so satisfying just to put it in your fingers and put it on. I never realized salt could be so good. You know,
You know what
just
I did the other night? So I was going to bed. It was like around 9:30, and I was like, I kind of wanted something to eat, but like I can't eat that late. It's just gonna cause stomach problems. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just get like a one of the salt crystals
mhm.
from that and, have that. It was so good. It tasted so good. And then the hunger was just gone. So
Mm.
I was like, that I got to remember that. And just to change the flavor in your mouth sometimes, just like pop in like a little piece of that salt. It's just so good.
Yeah, yeah. That's I've actually heard that hack before. It's like, oh, you're hungry, you're not. It's like just put a little bit of salt under your tongue. But yeah,
Yeah.
those giant crystals, man.
Fabulous.
So, what is a priest's favorite workout?
What is a what?
A priest's favorite workout?
Oh no. What is it?
CrossFit.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was like,
I
I
like
tried
that. That was a good
to
one.
find just corny jokes because.
That
um,
was good. I saw
so,
you were doing push-ups.
yeah, with the dog.
Yeah, how many push-ups do you do?
um, I've actually, I've actually had to stop doing push-ups and
Oh,
bench presses
no.
because I hurt my shoulder.
Ah,
So
baby.
yeah, so I'm actually I gave myself most of last week off. It's
Mhm.
better. It's better.
Yeah,
And then I'm hoping to like get back into it at the beginning of the year.
yeah.
But instead of like doing, yeah, I can feel it again just doing that. But I like my weight bench thing. I don't even know what it is where you go like this thing.
Oh,
As much
yeah.
I've never done
Yeah,
it before because I'm just too lazy to move the pins all the time. And
right.
but like it works out my bad. I was like, so I've been doing that, and
Mhm.
like literally everything is burning all the way down my back. So that's good. But I can do a lot of push-ups.
Yeah.
I can do pull-ups now. It's quite impressive. I go to work and there's like this ladder hanging over this rack, and I'll go up there and
Mhm.
I'll do pull-ups in front of people I work with. They're like, "What the heck are you doing?" I'm like, "You do a pull-up."
I started doing push-ups again because
Mhm,
it's a similar pain in my shoulder, but it's like it kept getting worse. And I'm like,
mm,
well, maybe if I add the push-ups back in, because I haven't done them in a few months. I've just been like doing curls. I thought maybe if I added the push-ups back in, maybe it would help because it's hampering my table tennis game. So the push-ups have been helping. So it's like for me, it's the reverse. It's like it's getting better, but
okay.
it's always going to be there though because I sleep like this. So because I sleep that way, it's like always getting stuck. Oh,
Yeah.
Ashley says she's never tried smoked salt. You got to try smoked salt, Ashley. I will give you some next time I see you.
Yeah, carnivore transformer, wall push-ups.
Yes.
I
Yep.
mean, that's like I've heard like if you can't do push-ups, you could start with wall push-ups
Yeah.
and just
Start anywhere. It'll still give you a workout. It's still a whole body workout, even against the wall.
well, and you got to, and it helps you change your attitude.
Yep.
And so part of me was like, I'm gonna try to challenge myself to do more push-ups, but I'm doing bench presses also. But
Oh,
you,
yeah.
if you injured, I injured myself somehow. I broke this shoulder in a few places
Okay.
20 years ago, and like
Mm-hmm.
the way that my tendons go over my collarbone over here, it like
Mm-hmm.
pops and cracks, and it and yeah, it's not pleasant. So it kills me to rest it.
Yeah.
I was like, I am not dropping the weights of these. I'm not dropping the weights anymore.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and guess what? Then I have to eat my words because I got injured somehow. But It's all right. It's like I'm really trying to figure out what my fitness goals are for this year
Yeah.
because I think it might be time for me to get a gym membership, but I'm like, I don't want to do it at the beginning of the year. That's the worst time.
Yeah.
And I, I don't want to be a gym bro, but I think I just know a little or just enough to potentially hurt myself.
That's one of the issues I find. Like I would never be able to join a gym again because of the thalassemia, you know. So it's like I would end up missing out on time at the gym because I can't do like any exercises for a while because
Mhm.
I'm too weak. But that's why I prefer working out at home just because for me it's convenient. You know, it's like I don't even have like a setup like you have. When I had my weights, I had them sitting in the dining room. So and just like knock out a few every time I walk past. And it's the same thing with the push-ups too. Like I'll anytime I go upstairs, I'll do push-ups when I'm going down the hallway. So it's easy and it actually keeps me from resenting working out because I resent that time. Carving out any kind of time to like specifically exercise. If it's because to me it's not a whole lot of fun. I like being able to do it,
Mhm.
but to do it for like a half an hour or an hour, that would just make me mad. So I
Yeah.
don't know why, it's weird.
Yeah. I know I have it easy. Like I'm out of my garage and I have a weight bench, I have a
Yeah.
treadmill, I have a TV, I have a dumbbell. Like I'm able to work out here, but then I was like, I'm putting a lot of time and effort into something, and I'm wondering if like I'm wasting some time. But
Mm,
I could just be making fear-based decisions or, you know, I've been watching some guy work out. I'm like, man, but then I'm like, I don't want to get too buff. I want to be able to scratch my own back.
yeah. Well, you know what they say too? There was a I can't remember where I saw this at. They were showing like the guys who were like the most buff. They
Mhm.
said those are actually the weakest guys. You
Mm,
think that they're really strong, but they're not. They're like it's the guys who have I can't remember how. It's like the body the not the bodybuilders, those guys who do like the deadlifts. And
mhm.
they're not super buff, but you can see that they're hefty, you know? So
Yeah.
they're like, those guys are the ones that are strongest. So
Mm.
it's like, you can't look at these super buff guys with like the six pack abs and stuff. They're not that strong. They're just skinny. So,
I mean, there's a lot to it. There's just I had that interview with Bronson Dan,
oh
like a
yeah.
year ago, and he was like, and I got his book. I'm going through, and it's like, do yourself a favor, get in the gym. I'm just like,
Mhm.
eh. It's in the back of my mind, so I may or may not do it. I know
Yeah.
it's the wrong time. It's so convenient to just come out here, but I actually
Yeah.
have a friend from church who's meeting other guys at 5:30 in the morning. He gets up at 4 in the morning, meets other guys, and they do all these push-ups and stuff outside, rain or shine, 365 days. He keeps talking to me about it over and over and over again. Like, I'm pretty sure he wants me to get involved.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I I don't know if I wanna beat my body that much,
Right. Right.
you
Yep.
know?
We
I
have a friend who does that too. Same that he does the same thing. It's like him and some guys from his church, some guys in their group, they also do 4:30 in the morning
yeah,
outside. I'm like, "No, no,
yeah.
thank you."
I got here's a question. Do you guys do electrolytes daily?
No, you take it first and then I'll answer.
Um, tip now, yes, I have been.
Yeah.
I didn't for the first 9 months, and then it was every once in a while, but I've been doing it every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not. I don't I'll go through phases with Element. I was sick a couple weeks ago, still a little sick. And every night I would have like a cup of Element just to make me feel a little better. But since then, no. And even before that, it's like I don't feel the need for them for
Mhm.
myself. I don't get the cramps, you know, that other people get. And I don't, when I do drink them, I don't notice any change.
Yeah.
So for me, this is why they'll never sponsor me because I just don't drink them enough that, you know, I can't be sponsored by them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how it works, but I'm still surprised that they even offers me anything because
Yeah.
but, you know, one thing about it that I was reminded of today, because I get the
Mhm.
comment like it's too expensive, you know, people are like, "You don't need it. There's other companies out there with better ratios or this, that, or other thing." But if you go to their website, they will
Mhm.
show you literally all the ingredients that they have, and
Yep.
you could buy all the stuff and just make your own at a fraction of the cost. The fact that
Yeah.
they do that, it's like, "Thank you," and it's like, "Well, you're buying convenience."
Yeah. Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's you're buying convenience, and is it necessary? Who knows? But like I have said, like I don't get cramps like I used to,
Mhm.
and but I have a theory on this, which is out. This is not scientific, and no one can prove it. But like, you know how like there's like prime meat, and there's
Mhm.
choice, and there's
Oh
you know
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
select grades, and like the prime has like all the fat intermuscularly, right?
Mhm.
I was like, what if there's a lot of intermuscular fat in my calves, and that pain is it working itself out. That's why I'm getting cramps. All the fat's getting burned from inside the muscle. Like
Who knows?
that's my hypothesis. I have no basis for it, but sounded good.
Yeah. Who
I bet I
knows?
could I
Maybe.
bet I could come up with that and like con somebody into believing it, but I consistency is a key, little at a time. That is true.
Yep.
And I saw a thing the other day, it was like a cup that was full, but on the other side, it was just a cup with a drip going into it. All those drips add up.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that too, and I put it up on my Facebook page.
So electrolytes only when needed, as for the past, nothing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the
Or
taste of them. I think they taste really good.
yeah, so for me, it has become like my one little treat.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me crave other things. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And when I'm sweating in the sun in the summer and working, yeah, it is. Yeah, heart
And
palpitations when I don't use electrolytes and muscle spasms here and there. Yeah,
mhm. I noticed I used to have heart palpitations all the time,
mm,
all throughout the day, every single day. They were so bad, it was so hard to fall asleep because I felt like my heart was going to beat out of my chest. And when I switched to keto, they stopped, which was very weird to me. Now I will get some every once in a while, but it's nowhere near. I mean, like if it was 100% before, it's like I maybe get them 2% of the time now. So it's fabulous not having that anymore.
awesome. Before I go further on, we only have like 12 minutes ish. Was there anything that on your heart that you wanted to talk about?
Let me think.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, so here's what I'll say. I notice in a lot of the carnivore groups that I'm in that there's so many people who are coming into this. They're brand new and they're confused because you've got this person over here who says this and that person over there who says that. And then they get in these groups and everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone, and there's like the hardliners who are like, if you're not doing it like this, you're wrong, and I feel so bad for them and my heart goes out for them. And I just want to tell them, it's like, you have to find your own way on this diet. Yes, cut the carbs. Yes, cut the processed foods. If you're okay eating the fruit, fine, eat fruit. If you like the vegetables, eat the vegetables. But you have to find out what's going to work for you. Don't feel like you have to do it someone else's way in order to get it perfectly. And I also see people, they'll start obsessing. They're like, oh, well, I'm supposed to have 1 to 1. It's supposed to be, the protein to fat. And it's got to be 1 to 1. And they'll be stressing about it. And it's like, well, how do you feel? So I know for me, like I had to cut down my fat like about a month or so ago because it was just too much and I kept getting queasy off and on throughout the day. So as soon as I cut my fat down, I started feeling better. So if I was following the advice out there, I would have to eat more. I'd have to eat more fat. I'd have to eat more protein. I'm currently dialing my numbers a bit. So my protein's going up, my fat is going down. I'm eating about the same amount of food. And as long as I still feel good, this is what I'm going to do. You know, if things start to change and I start to feel bad or whatever, I'm going to change that up. So it's like you have to listen to your body. And if you're a Christian, pray, bring God into it, because to me, well, it's not to me. It's like he made you. He knows exactly what you need. So that's, you need to bring the creator in. So that's that.
Yeah, that I mean, obviously you've seen my whole journey that
Yeah.
I've,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful that I got legalistic
Yeah.
in my walk with
Sometimes you have to be.
in my walk with Christ,
Yeah.
going on the carnivore diet, being really rigid about it
Yeah.
because because I was taking it serious and I was passionate about it. But like you're saying, like people are like so hard line about it. It's like you have to eat only line diet. That's only food that you should eat the rest of your life. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, don't let anyone fool you, but
Yeah.
also make sure you're not fooling you either.
Yeah.
Because we like to
You
talk
got, it's like me and the sugar.
yeah.
Yeah. You got to be honest with yourself.
And for me, it's like I wanted it, and then for me putting it on YouTube, then I had this extra level of burden. I thought to like try to be a good example, and so that's, I mean, it's a whole been a whole wrestling thing for me because I don't want to lie to somebody and
Right.
say you should only eat this
Hmm.
because they're morbidly obese and they're going to die, right?
Hmm.
So like withhold information from them.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. But at the same time, like, I also don't want to like give them reasons to stumble.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a weird balance and a weird thing to work through. I have found.
Well, I was going to say that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about your channel is that you put it all out there, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I mean, I'm not someone who has issues with depression or anything like that. So that's not something that the diet helped me with, but I appreciate that you put that out there because I see so many people who struggle in that area and they need to hear someone else who's not like, oh yes, it's happy go lucky every single day on this diet. I have no problems at all. My mind is just, happy every day. And I appreciate that you are open and honest about that. And it's like, it's like, well, this day's really great. I'm on, I'm riding cloud nine. And then this day it's like, it's a struggle. So
Yeah. I've had lots and lots of I've been struggling with like negative thought patterns.
yeah.
And I know I am, but it's like, how do I get out of this? And it's been a tough season just with work and stress and like that. But at the same,
Mhm.
I think about it, I'm like, okay, it's been tough, but thankfully, like I haven't had to think really hard about my diet
Mhm.
because my diet has been my diet. And I've done all this work. So like I have this one thing I can celebrate over here and something I'm struggling through at the same time. And I don't know. I'm okay.
Mhm. I just want to say real quick, thank you, Carnivore Transformer, for your kind words. Very, very sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And one of my other friends just said that she's watching too. So hi.
Hello, friends. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out Nelly Needs Me on YouTube. She's got
I'm eating
all the
wellness.
recipes.
Yeah, the recipes, and I talk a lot.
Y-
I have
Yeah,
a lot of talking videos.
it's like, yeah, you're very, you have the gift of speaking and writing and all that kind of stuff. It's like literally opposite of me. I could barely get the words from my brain out my mouth.
That's why I'm always teasing you because you're so funny.
Well, I try not to take myself so seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You do a
then,
good job.
well, because yeah, um, we already talked about that. We talked about that. So what, in your house, your kids are older than mine,
Yeah.
but like,
So I have a 21-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 19-year-old.
yeah, yeah, all way
Basically
older.
adults.
Yeah. But like, let's maybe discuss the balance between allowing children like autonomy in their food choices as a parent and a parent's responsibility to guide them toward healthy options.
So if your kids are young, start them now.
Okay.
Don't wait. And I think it would be better to do gradual swaps in the beginning. Change out some foods. I mean, just to give you guys an idea, my girls were having a bowl of ice cream every single night when we first started. So that wasn't good. And I was alone in my journey. Well, my mom was doing it too. I was kind of making her do it to help her get her blood sugar under control. But yeah, my daughters were having a bowl of ice cream every night. They were eating sandwiches. They were eating all the stuff. And I mean, that was 4 years ago. And I shared the information with them. They were old enough that was what we were doing. I would tell them everything that I was learning. And over time, they started to be more on board with the changes that I was making. So it wasn't like, they were throwing fits. Now we're at the point now where I wouldn't say that they're not keto, they're not that low carb, but they are all low carb at this point. We've got most of the garbage out. It's not easy to keep it all out because my husband still has things that he likes to get. And they snuck French fries in the other day from Burger King. And I was like, not Burger King French fries, So, but I'm thankful for the progress that they've made. So if they're young enough, change them now. But if they're a little bit older, give them all the information. Keep sharing it with them. Me and Aaron were talking about expectations. Don't have any expectations. Just bring things in gradually and start swapping things out so they don't really even miss it. It's like you get them used to eating good food. That's what they're going to start to crave.
Yeah, I like that. Give them all the information. That's came up a couple times, and I said on my last live, that's why I had a problem with some of church history. With the Catholic Church, how they used to not let people read the Bibles, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
this is what the Bible says. Now follow this. I'm like, well, because laymen shouldn't read it, but no, God's working in people's lives, so he will give them what they need to know and teach them through his word. But yeah, give them all the information.
Yeah.
And so this has been a weird thing, and you probably know because my wife talks about it, but it's been a weird thing because we've tried to make small choices and lead by an example, but they overhear some of the stuff that I say, so, and then so then you hear them kind of regurgitate it, and then it's but then they have aversions to some of it too. It's like, oh, we don't want to do eggs for breakfast again. Eggs again. I hate eggs. Now I hate eggs. It's like, am I bending them too far in a way and force them to do something? And because they're feeling like it's a forced thing, now they're going to not want that in their life.
Yeah. And so you don't want them to resent it.
Yeah, resent it. And it's like, my daughter's like, I miss it when Dad used to cook, because I would cook these elaborate Sunday dinners. I liked, I thought I was Gordon Ramsay, except for the cussing. Okay, a little bit of cussing in context, but it was like, I thought it was art to me. It was being creative, and they missed some of that. So I'm trying to work some of that in on Sunday dinners, stuff that I'm trying to remember. We've been eating a lot of cabbage with beef. That's what Beth's been eating.
Elizabeth has been telling me she has cabbage every day.
Yeah. Why? I was like, you just like having fiber so you can poop. Okay. You just want massive poops. The mess with her. But I don't know. What I'm saying is it's not an easy thing being a parent and leading your family. Give them all the information. I really like that advice. That's good advice. And try to teach them what you're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wife help. Do you recommend? Oh, I just pulled that. Do you recommend cutting down on bacon? I crave it.
I personally don't eat bacon, only because it causes stomach problems. I mean, I love it. If I could, I would be having it almost every single day, but it gives me stomach issues, so I don't eat it. Which is
So
pretty sad.
I go here and there. I go the Sam's Club and I get bacon from there, and it's way better than the bacon I get from other places.
To me, if you're eating it and you
Mhm,
like it and it's keeping you away from other problems, like there was someone I heard who instead of getting chocolate, they would get bacon.
mhm.
And it's like, that's way better.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's keeping you from making bad choices, have at it.
Eat all the bacon that you want,
Yeah, yeah,
and you'll get tired of it when you're tired of it.
you will. Yeah. I didn't
So
think that that would ever happen, but my family goes through phases where they're just in the past we loved it because it was limited. And
mm,
it's like, well, now that we could have it all, and I mean, we were inundated in the beginning. I was making like 2 pounds of bacon every few days, but then everyone kind of got tired of it. So now when I make it, it is a treat for everyone.
yeah, and for me, I've been eating bacon and eggs almost every single morning.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started switching to eating breakfast and dinner. Like, I was
Mhm.
intermittent fasting for a year and a half, but I was
Yeah.
like, if I have bacon and I have some over easy eggs with the
Yeah.
runny yolk and bacon, to me, it's like tastes like heaven. My
Yeah.
wife probably is gagging in her, sitting there trying to hold it and gagging while I'm doing it, but that's all right. I love it. It tastes so good
Yeah.
for right now.
Well,
So,
that's like me, and I have steak and eggs every morning for breakfast.
mm,
And that to me is like, if I ever have anything else, every once in a while I'll cycle in, I'll have something else. And I'm just like, it's just not as good.
that's that's funny. Yeah, my computer's not working, so I was trying to press the button here. Let me see if I can find something real quick.
Well, I'm just going to read a couple comments here. Uh, Carnivore Transformer was saying that, she was doing that with her young adults, give them the information, being the example as well. Their choices and loving the low carb way. Yeah. And then she says that she's on her journey for 9 months, 40 pounds down. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. And going strong carnivore lifestyle at my optimal weight, no more hypertension, no more meds. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Good job.
It is awesome. Let me play this video to kind of end this, but
Okay.
watch this. All right, day 11 of the carnivore diet. Fairly strict. Today I'm having steak and eggs. Steak and eggs. Really? How's anyone supposed to live like this? Plus, my wife just can't leave me alone.
That's awesome. And they were runny eggs too. Very nice.
Yeah, so steak and eggs. How is anyone supposed to live like this? And I usually
It's
cut
like
it off
torture.
because did you hear it says, and now my wife won't leave me alone. I cut that out of all the videos, but you seen it here first. That's why, yeah. Well, I just want to thank you for showing up and hanging out and chatting. It's been awesome. You're like the OG. What else do you have?
I have one more thing to say real quick. If I could just do a quick plug. I keep forgetting to put this on my YouTube page, but if anyone's on Facebook, I have a Facebook page called The Low Carb Coalition. The
Mm,
Low Carb Coalition. I started the group because I wanted people to feel welcome, so that there's like no way you can do hardlining because there's no strictness. You do the diet the way you feel best. So anyway, just putting that out there for everybody.
the low carb coalition.
Coalition, yeah.
Yeah, it would help if I could spell correctly.
And hi, Sammy. Good to see you. Oh,
Yeah,
Carnivore Transformer says it looks like you got a facelift, Aaron.
yeah. I mean,
He looks younger.
it also with the beard, it's not as egregious. But let me see.
Uh,
Here it is. There's the link.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good job, Sammy. She says she's up to 15 push-ups. Very, very nice.
Nice. I mean, that's how you do it.
Yep.
I can't believe you talked my wife into doing all those push-ups, and she did it. She hid it from me too. I was so proud of her.
I was gonna see if I could tap her again for him, but I didn't want to be mean. She's got enough on her plate right now. So later. Thank you, Meeting Wellness.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, and thanks for hanging out tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna get ready for bed because it's like after
Okay. Yeah, me too. We're getting close. All right. I will
All
talk
right.
to you later. Good night, everybody.
Right. Toodles.
Toodles.